A lot of people would have thought this would have been cleared up by now, but Pearson is still experiencing major delays and cancellations as a result. What's the real issue here?
Well, there are a couple of different issues. One is, like everybody else in the travel and tourism industry, we've got a massive labor shortage, not only with our airport staff, our airline staff, but also the customs and the security staff as well. So there's just less people to handle all of the travelers. We're seeing a huge uptick in the number of people who want to travel, which is fantastic. And as an industry that's been so incredibly hard hit over the last 2 years, we're very, very pleased to see that. But we're also looking at, the restrictions and the requirements that travelers need to undertake that is holding up the process, and we really do need to streamline those. We're the only industry left where you still have to prove your vaccine status and test in order to travel.
I think the question, Beth, on a lot of travelers' minds is, why weren't we better prepared for this? I mean, as you rightly point out, the travel industry was hit hard by COVID-19. There was a real excitement about being able to return to travel. People want to do it. So why weren't some of these issues addressed before people started returning to the airport?
Well, there's just a hesitancy at this point to remove any of the restrictions associated with COVID-19 and travel. And this is something we've been talking to the federal government about for months now. We'd like to see these things removed, but I think that there's a real reluctance to move too quickly because they still next wave of COVID might look like. And so, I can't get into why, Minister Duclos, as an example, as the Minister of Health, is not willing to remove these restrictions for this sector as they have for everybody else. But that is certainly one of the reasons that we're challenged. And then the other reason is, we have been at the brunt of all of the restrictions and the work stoppages over the last 2 years. And a lot of people, 400,000 to be exact, walked away from our industry during the last 2 years to find work in other industries that were more stable so that they could continue to put food on the table and a roof over their heads. So we've lost 15 years worth of employment growth in the last 2 years, and we're all scrambling to try and recruit and replace those team members.
So Minister Agabra said a couple of weeks ago that the delays were in part due to people not having their laptops out and being ready. I'm sort of condensing what he said. And then yesterday he said that they were on it. But again, a lot of travelers aren't seeing real changes. We're still hearing real horror stories. Do you think the federal government is on it? I mean, when you hear him say, well, other European airports are also experiencing the same sort of problems, how does that sit with you?
Well, I think I think he's trying to put the blame on folks that really the blame shouldn't be laid on them. Travelers know what they're doing. They know how to travel. They know what to expect when they get up to the security carousels and what they need to do in order to get through them. I think that what we've got here is, again, a lack of staff. And I do know that, Minister Agabra has made the commitment to bring on more staff members for both CATSA and CBSA, but there's a training time requirement there. And so one of the things that we've asked is if they would remove the vaccine mandate requirement for federally regulated industries, then CATSA and CBSA and airlines and airports could recall staff that were laid off because they weren't vaccinated. So, there are some other things that I think that the minister could be doing, and we are continuing to talk to him and his office about taking those steps.
Are you concerned that this is going to hurt the travel industry?
Well, you know, showing pictures like this, is going to cause a lot of people to think twice about making those travel reservations. And certainly, anecdotally, I've heard lots of people talk about, well, if I'm going to travel, but I wanted to see if I can travel without having to go through Pearson. And that's not what we want at all. This is an industry that was decimated over the last 2 years. We want people to get back out and travel, not only for the health of the industry, but for the travelers' own mental health. They want to reunite with family and friends and get out and explore their country. We want to see business travel resume and all of these things will be beneficial to rebuilding our economy. So this is a crisis situation as far as we're concerned, and we need to see it dealt with and dealt with very quickly.
Yeah, a crisis situation. Beth Potter, she's the president and CEO of the Tourism Industry Association of Canada. Thank you.